So for this exercise, we're going to be working on getting a very clean activation out of our glute med, which is the muscle on the side of our hip. This exercise we're about to do is probably one you've seen done many times, but unfortunately there's a lot of compensations that people do while performing this exercise, and they're not really activating the glute med, but instead they might be feeling it in their trunk, their back, sometimes even their hip flexors or their quads. So we're just going to go over a few cues that can really help you feel this in the right place. So you're going to go ahead and lay on down, and you can either have your head propped up on your hand, or even laying down, or even use a pillow. The bottom leg is going to be slightly bent. It can be kind of like about there, or even at a 90, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And then basically all we're going to be doing is the leg lift exercise, but pay attention to these few cues. The first one is that we are going to reach this leg long through the heel, okay? So don't just think about long through the toes, really think long through the heel. And when I do that, I want you to pay attention to my side down here that's touching the floor. So here I am at rest, and then if I reach long, you can see I almost get like a little gap between my waist and the floor. I'm going to maintain that long reach so I can just feel this little kind of hole. And as you do the exercise, you're going to try to just maintain that little gap the entire time. The other cue I like to do is just have your hand on the top side of your pelvis here. And as you're reaching that leg long, really think that no movement should be happening where your hand is. So here's an example of a bad one. You can see how my whole hand is moving with this exercise, okay, versus here, okay? No movement's really happening at my hand, and I'm keeping a nice small motion, only going up as high as I can, where I'm maintaining that long reach through the leg and no movement happening at the pelvis. I like to have people start with a nice parallel foot, okay? Make sure kind of everything's in a line too. I kind of have my heel, knee, hip, and head all in a line. If that's hard to do without like arching your back, it's totally fine to bring your leg a little bit farther in front. Just know eventually we want to move it back into more of a straight line, but starting it forward is totally fine. We're still going to hit that muscle. But once you get good at having the foot straight, and not even just get good at it, I like you to do about maybe 10 to 15 reps with the foot straight. And then I also like to have people rotate their foot down so my whole top leg is spinning in, my knee is facing more towards the ground, and I'm going to have you do that same exercise. It's just going to target a few different fibers of that glute med to make sure we're hitting the whole muscle. So same thing, about 10 to 15 of each of those. You should feel a good burn in the side of your hip. And if you're not, reset, really reach that leg long, and try to think about maintaining that nice kind of little hole between your waist and ground, and that pelvis does not move.